With the Tournament of Power drawing to a close, a lot of fans are wondering what's next for the Z Warriors. Yo, what's going on, DBZ enthusiasts? It's your boy RBG hitting you guys up with another video. And man, has it been a while. I've been getting a buttload of messages asking my thoughts on the current events of the show, and to be frankly honest, it's been quite decent. I mean, yeah, seeing Goku run around like a kid at the dollar store has gotten pretty stale, but the tournament has its high points. I think if anything, the new introduction of Ultra Instinct Omen is really going to add a bit more depth to the story, and it's definitely going to give the fanboys something to drool about, thus allowing an increase in YouTube views for the uploaders. Because people want to know who will be the next lucky contestant to get the Ultra Instinct stimulus package, and I got all my money on Gohan. But anyways, that's not exactly what I want to talk about today. What I really wanted to speak on was the future of Universe 6 and its Saiyan inhabitants. Just what exactly does Toriyama have in store for him? Now that we've gotten a glimpse of the immense power of the female duo Kale and Caulifa, hate them or love them, how much potential does this particular group have? Because for the most part, we've gotten an entire out-the-ass rewrite of the Saiyan biology at this point, and many fans are not necessarily pleased with this recent inclusion of the back-tingling transformations of the Super Saiyan. I think all would be forgiven if we didn't see the upstarts ascend to levels that took the Universe 7 Saiyans years to master. We're talking sagas here. What makes matters even worse is the fact that good character development was sacrificed in place of fan service. Give a Brawly reference here and a Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan reference there, and all the fanboys who lack a keen eye for storytelling are happy. I think this issue could be remedied if Toriyama and the big wigs at TOEI actually dedicate a story arc to the Saiyan planet of Sadala or Sadal or Salada, whatever you want to call it. A planet that was originally destroyed by Freiza somewhere around age 550. Judging from Cabba's attire and how it's the old uniform Saiyans used to wear in Universe 7, it's safe to assume that Sadal didn't succumb to colonialism or terrorism from outsiders. Another assumption that could be made is that this group of Saiyans aren't necessarily warmongers like their twin universe counterparts. Of course, we all know when it comes to Universe 7, it was always survival of the fittest. When you have to deal with a universe filled with a hierarchy of villains, it's only a matter of time before you eventually join the pact, especially if it means protecting your own people. One thing that's always been at the back of my mind since these alternate universes have gotten introduced is how exactly do the organisms actually compare to their parallel counterparts. Like, I always thought if we had a parallel Earth, the human inhabitants may look similar to us, but their internals would be totally opposite from ours. Like, if our hearts are on the left side, then our respective twin universe inhabitants' hearts would be on the opposite side, being the right. Simple things like this would bring a totally new dynamic to shit we already know about the current universe in Dragon Ball. Just what if these genetic compositions had something to do with how strong Universe 6's competitors were? Now, the thing that made me want to harp on this topic even more is when Goku asked Cabba where his tail was, and to that Cabba explained that his universe of Saiyans once had tails but lost them due to their race's evolution. This is something that should be taken serious since in the anime Cabba was unaware of Saiyan tails, but Toriyama later included the whole evolution process in the manga. If that's the case, then the Saiyans on Universe 6 could prove to be genetically superior than the Saiyans we know today. That puts them light years ahead in terms of evolution. If you remember, Gohan had a tail as a kid, and Trunks and Goten most likely had tails too and were later removed, but this is just my assumption. But anyways, that's besides the point. We know we're going to be getting a closer look at Sadala than we did the first time around with the three young Saiyans. During the middle of the Tournament of Power, Vegeta reminded Cabba about how he promised to introduce him to the king of his planet, who's said to be very similar to our Saiyan prince. Of course, Cabba mentions that this promise will ultimately be broken if their planet is eliminated and further erased, but Vegeta says he'll use the Super Dragon Balls to wish Universe 6 back if they win. And I'm obliged to believe that he'll do so, since Goku doesn't ask for much but to simply fight, even if it's at the expense of people's freaking existence. And seeing as the Saiyan girls Caulifa and Kale were forced to be reckoned with, he'll most likely want to go on a sparring spree with some of the residents on their planet. So it's a win-win situation for both of our favorite Saiyans. Just think of the possibilities. We get to have an in-depth look at how drastically different the technology is compared to how Universe 7's was on planet Vegeta. Like, do they have the space pods we're used to seeing or a primitive means of traveling? What about the rejuvenation tanks? Do they have those, or do they possess a healing factor that's faster than their twin universe? And there's also the political climate. Just how do they go about addressing certain issues? There's just so much to explore that could potentially fill in the gaps to things we don't know regarding their culture. It raises more questions if this new Saiyan evolution has the potential to reach transformations far greater than Goku or Vegeta's. Of course, that's gonna be a big leap since our Z Warriors have done pretty much any and everything imaginable to get to where they're at. I'm more eager to see where this goes with the villains. I'm thinking there's gonna be some kind of Saiyan hierarchy that doesn't necessarily agree with Universe 7's Super Saiyans meddling with their universe. I know I'd feel some kind of way if I found out that my twin universe was a bunch of savages. They probably wouldn't want anyone influencing their culture in a bad way. If I'm not mistaken, there was a lot of internal fighting and conflict that ultimately led to the original planet Sadala's destruction. In Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, the Freiza race time patroller Jiera states that was the case due to the change in history. According to him, the internal conflict that destroyed the original planet never occurred on Universe 6, allowing the Saiyans to continue living there in peace. Now this is all non-canon, but you can't deny that time traveling hasn't been a huge game changer in Dragon Ball, whether it be for better or for worse. You have to think, the whole battle with Goku and Zamasu not only made an impact on time itself, but the entire multiverse. The battle was so devastating to the timeline that it pretty much made future Universe 7 this endless abyss of just Zamasu. And as we know, this ultimately led to future Xeno erasing it out of existence before making his way to the main timeline to coexist with current Xeno. Now we all know that the Saiyans of Universe 6 and their planet were already a thing before these events took place, but hey, time travel still probably has something to do with why they're still alive. Hell, the only reason Goku's still alive is because he's a walking byproduct of time manipulation. I think the biggest thing this theory has going for it is the new movie that's been heavily rumored to feature the first original Super Saiyan. It's still up in the air if this will be connected to the series or play as some sort of one-off movie or special. We still don't know, but what we do know is that it'll feature a Saiyan named Yamoshi who is said to be a cut above your average Super Saiyan. A Saiyan who overcomes the wall which no warrior, no matter how gifted, can overcome. Unlike our traditional Saiyan, Yamoshi is said to be this righteous figure who existed long before the planet Vegeta was even a thing. What I find interesting about this character is that based on all the images we've gotten so far, he looks a lot like Vegeta. If you remember during the Super Saiyan ritual, Beerus sees a shadowy figure of the original Super Saiyan God, whom I assume to be Yamoshi. A similar image was also seen during the Battle of Gods movie, which shows a Super Saiyan God with a tail who once again bears quite a resemblance to Prince Vegeta. Now, I'm a little worried on if Toei and Toriyama will pull this out the ass excuse of how Goku is somehow the successor of Yamoshi. You gotta admit, they troll the hell out of the Vegeta fanboys anytime we get a tiny glimpse of hope that he'll get his big break. Like, sometimes I swear to God I want to duct tape a dick to my forehead for even thinking they're gonna let my boy get some shine. Like, he never does, but if Vegeta were to be a direct descendant of the original Super Saiyan, that movie would get the biggest reaction ever. With this talk of him achieving Ultra Instinct Omen in future episodes, I have no doubt that it's gonna break the internet. Like, that shit's gonna pull in some huge ratings. If anything, I think it would make sense if he was the chosen one in some form or capacity. If him and the king share similarities, then that could be an indication that our boy will get his new transformation. I mean, he takes a lot after his father, King Vegeta, who was obviously chosen to be the ruler of their Saiyan race in their universe. And it was our boy Vegeta who spoke about the original Super Saiyan first, way back during the Freiza saga. Now granted, this was more of a filler episode before the original Super Saiyan concept was fully realized, but it was described more as this powerful juggernaut and looked more like Ozaru Vegeta with Super Saiyan hair, similar to the one we saw in GT. But it's said that Yamoshi transformed into SSJ, but was later beaten by corrupt Saiyans because he ran out of energy. Maybe it was the giant ape Super Saiyan form that drained him of his power. This would become the connective tissue to Vegeta's story and stop people from crying about the inconsistencies of DBS. Since Vegeta didn't really get his chance to perform the Super Saiyan God ritual the first time around, it'd be perfect for Goku to fulfill his promise. And I know some were probably saying that he's already achieved this with the Super Saiyan God Blue transformation, but it just doesn't seem the same. What's not to say that Yamoshi's version of SSG wasn't more potent than the one Goku currently used. Now, in terms of how they sell this as a movie or some kind of special, it would be best if they made it a TV special, similar to what they did with the 2-part Ultra Instinct episodes. I think they could make it like they did where we get these sick eye catches of Vegeta looking bad in his new form, similar to the ones we got with Ultra Instinct Goku. But I don't know, maybe I'm reaching. I'm just excited to see where this all goes because this could be one of the biggest arcs in shonen history. We finally get to have a huge ensemble of full-blooded Saiyans. Fans can finally stop treating Dragon Ball Epsilon like it's the best thing since bacon wrapped pizza when the series has yet to explain what the hell is going on. I mean, I respect the work put into that, but you would be lying to yourself if you said it was anything close to being good as Dragon Ball Super or even mentioned in the same breath. And this isn't me just bigging up Super in the slightest because it's riddled with an ass load of issues like I mentioned earlier. I just think it has a chance to redeem itself because its biggest issues are in correlation with the Universe 6 Saiyans. But anyways, what do you think about all this? Do you think the Z Warriors will travel to Universe 6? And do you think the legendary Super Saiyan god Yamoshi will tie into all of this with our Saiyan Prince potentially inheriting his spirit? Let me know down in the comments below. Be sure to like or dislike the video. I don't care if it's a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. Any feedback is good feedback and will only help me improve on future content. If you enjoy my content, consider supporting your boy on Patreon to help me stay independent and free of any corporate interference. But anyways, this is your boy RBG signing out on another video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.